Hey guys, welcome to Earth Wisdom Fire Tarot. This is going to be a look at a karmic relationship in your life. It could be multiple ones. So I like to watch, when I watch pick a card readings, sometimes if the first one really resonates with me, I check out the other ones just to see if they might resonate for a different relationship or a different phase or aspect of the same relationship. So just use this however it works for you. But I thought I'd just mention that just to, let you know how it goes for me. So if you're interested in getting a personal reading with me after you watch this reading, you can find that information at earthwisdomfire.com/services, and I have the link down in the description box. It's a timeless reading, so use this however you like at whatever time it comes into your life, and I really hope this helps. So I'd really appreciate it if you stuck around and subscribed. That would make me so happy. And please leave a comment down below letting me know which pile you picked and like how it resonated for you. I always love seeing that. And yeah, I'll see you soon. All right, so I've drawn the cards. I'm gonna pull some extra cards, but I just got 3 framing cards, and then I'll shuffle and pull extra cards as I'm doing each reading. So this is group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. I'll put the timestamps down in the description box for you, and yeah, I'll go ahead and get started with group number 1. Hi, group 1. Okay, let's look at the framing cards. So we have the 4 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, and the Chariot in reverse. So it looks like in this situation, you've needed to kind of take a break from each other. It does feel like one of you is much more focused on your healing and stability and what you actually want to achieve in life, like your life purpose. So one of you just feels much more focused than the other, and it feels like that's where a lot of the tension is coming in this karmic situation. I do feel like something is coming to an end here. It's been a long time coming, very deeply entrenched, and you're both seeing that there's just no future here. One of you is much more aware that there's no future here, that you can't really build in the same direction for the same reasons. And I feel like there's also been some sort of break in communication. So you may be in separation, you may not be talking, you may have just needed to get some space. And I also feel like if there was at one point or another some talk of plans of the future, or you were putting those ideas out there, I feel like a lot of that has come to a standstill or come to an end altogether. So let me pull, before I look at the oracle cards, I'm just gonna pull some extra cards here. Okay, so the bottom of the deck right now is the Page of Swords in reverse. So I do feel like, again, break in communication, you're not talking, or there's definitely some sort of communication breakdown where you can't really hear each other clearly and you're having trouble relating to each other. I do feel like if this is a situation that has been a long time coming, you really have to listen to your intuition, and you kind of have to go back in time and listen to your intuition over time, because you've gotten a lot of red flags, or you've gotten a lot of indications that this doesn't really have a future, it's not viable moving forward. But there's definitely been some resistance to that, and I feel like you're just now starting to see things from a different perspective, because we have the Hangman in reverse. We also have the Knight of Rods, which makes me feel like there's still a lot of, you know, passion and intensity. You still have this sort of like very intense physical, like sexual connection. And because of that, I feel like, or just a very intense connection if it's not romantic, but I am getting the sense that this is a romantic relationship. So yeah, so I don't know, it might resonate more for you if that's what your situation is. So with the 9 of Swords, this has been something that's really been stressing you out. Like, it's been extremely stressful and intense, and there's been a resistance to letting this go because of the pain that you know that you'll feel. The 3 of Swords in reverse and the Death card in reverse. But it's not worth the anxiety, the fear that this is bringing up in you. And I feel like when you do connect sexually, when you do have that time together, you're actually absorbing a lot of this other person's negative energy. You're absorbing their anxiety, and it's actually costing you a lot of energy having to process all of that. That's why you're needing so much time apart and so much time to heal, to actually get back to feeling like yourself. So I feel like something has changed. You've definitely passed some sort of marker where there's no going back. You see things way too differently. You see things too clearly. And even though it's inevitable that there's going to be this pain and heartbreak, I feel like you're inching closer to being able to fully step away from this. However, I do feel that whatever, you know, sort of hesitation you're still feeling is delaying something really good coming in. So let's see what that might be, because yeah, it's preventing you from really being free to express yourself, to really work on yourself. And I think this is a situation that's really taken a toll on your health. And look at that, you have 2 8s and 2 6s. So I feel like whatever, you know, this is like some sort of like entrapment type energy, like feeling trapped in this relationship, maybe because you have so much built up together, you have established some sort of commitment to each other, or you've invested a lot of time and energy into this, and you feel sort of held back by that. But I feel like you are getting an opportunity to break free. And once you do, you'll realize there's so much time and energy freed up to really master, you know, your craft, or master, you know, what you're really truly good at. And once you can really truly invest in all that, I think that you'll naturally gravitate away from this situation and move on to something that's much more in line with what you want. And with the 6 of Wands being at the bottom of the deck, the 6 of Wands signifies success. So the Chariot card also signifies success, and that was in reverse because this situation was holding you back from that sort of success that, you know, maybe you've been craving in your career, or whatever, you know, your passion is, whatever. You might be a creative person. You might just be very, you know, good at something, you know, that you can use to be of service to others and gain a lot of abundance. So I do feel like abundance is available to you once you step away from this situation. So I do feel like this is a relationship. It does feel like it's something that has been moving towards commitment, maybe in your mind, maybe in one or the other, but the intent, the passionate energy and the intensity that you feel is actually that karmic energy. It's actually like the anxiety, the sort of fight or flight response that this brings up in you. I feel like you kind of confuse that with true romance and connection. And now that you see things differently, now that you have broken away from that, this situation won't have that same sort of hold on you. You'll be free to really focus on what's meant for you. This has ultimately been a giant distraction, and it's been holding you back from a lot of success, but it couldn't hold you back forever because you're always destined to experience this level of success. So we have vulnerability, upheaval, structure, and mystery. So this is exactly what I'm talking about here. I do feel like you were confusing the sort of intense, passionate connection you have with this person with true vulnerability. And it wasn't until you maybe got some time to yourself, or maybe if you haven't had that time to yourself yet and you haven't had that space, once you do, you'll see how you've had to have some sort of protection up naturally against this person without even realizing it. You had your guard up. There was something about this situation that really brought up a lot of like intense feelings of anxiety to the surface. And I do feel like, yes, you do have something built up with this person, something that felt like structure. Even though the Tower card didn't come through here, I feel like this upheaval card is really bringing that type of energy. This was never truly meant to last. This was never truly meant to be a stable situation. And the opportunity that comes from this clearing away, is bringing in a structure that's actually going to last. Something that really reflects your highest ideals, like your real true dreams and wishes. And with this mystery card, I feel like you have to embrace the unknown. You won't know for sure what this new structure looks like, before it actually manifests in your life. But the good news is that once the upheaval, once a lot of this difficulty, once you've moved past this is over, what's coming is actually extremely peaceful. And you'll see how everything really came into divine order, how the divine order was really there all along. This is one of those situations where you'll see that you needed to go through this as an initiation into something, much more, like something that's really going to last, something much more successful, So then we have chaos. Just like I said, you have upheaval and chaos. So it's going to be kind of like a messy separation here. It's not going to be the cleanest, most, easy exit. This person may try to fight for you. They may hold on to you. You may find that, your opportunity to move past this comes very abruptly. And through that, you're kind of thrown into the mystery of what's next. You're kind of like very much in the present moment. And you just have to sort of react to what's coming at you in the moment. But with the High Priestess of Water, what you're going to do is you're going to use your intuition to navigate your reality. And that's where you'll really find peace and stability, is in what your heart is telling you and where your heart is leading you. So this High Priestess of Water is a very, very powerful tool in this process of upheaval, chaos, transformation, and transition. The Grove card is about the healing that is going to come from the space that this relationship is, like, once it's over, that it's going to create in your life. It's not going to create a vacuum. It's actually going to create this space to breathe, this space to really like stretch out and relax and be yourself. Like I said, hey, so my battery died. Sorry about that. So I had to change it out. But the card that came out is the, I just grabbed it this way. Okay. So is the entrapment card. And this is just like I was saying with the Eight of Swords, this is you feeling like in the past especially, you felt like you were stuck with this, like you kind of already made a commitment. So this could have been, a marriage or some sort of commitment where you're making long-term plans, but something about it, your intuition was telling you that it couldn't be headed in that direction. There was something off. And this is a confirmation of that, this reading. So this entrapment card is you really feeling, this sort of dread maybe at the prospect of like being trapped in this forever. But love, if this is a romantic relationship or otherwise, love is not supposed to make you feel trapped. It's supposed to make you feel free. And what's beautiful about this structure card is that it has this rainbow here, which for me always represents, a very, very positive, auspicious, sign. It's a very good sign. So, you are going to have something very committed and, something that has the kind of structure that you're looking for, but it's not going to feel like a trap. It's not going to feel like an obligation. You're going to feel free to choose that direction. And that's really the difference between where you've been in this karmic situation and where you're headed. You know, the point of me doing these readings is to help you understand that you can always shift from a karmic cycle to a dharmic one, where you can really break free and choose, you know, what direction you're headed in based on where your heart is leading you and where you can best be of service. So I feel like that's really where you're headed here once you let go of this situation. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much. If this is the end of this video for you, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, group 2. So let's look at the framing cards here. So we have the High Priestess, the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups in reverse. So wow, that's 222 here. So I do feel like there's definitely a lot of love in this relationship. You have a very intense spiritual connection, and I feel like there's possibly right now some distance, some disconnect here. You're not really feeling each other on the same level that you used to. And you are being faced here with some sort of choice here, whether to continue or to go on a different path. And I feel like with the High Priestess card being here as well, that there could be some sort of disconnect in communication. You could be very aware of the path that you're meant to be on because you're so in touch with your intuition, but there's a question of whether or not this other person is coming along for the ride. So I'm going to set the oracle cards aside for a second and just get some more information with the tarot cards. Wow, another 2 card. 2 pages as well. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the Death card in reverse. So I do feel like this is something that is going to be very, very hard to let go of and to release. But it is holding back. Like, I feel like what's happening here is that this other person is holding back your potential. It's almost like, you know, with the 2 pages here being back to back, I feel like this is you and this other person. You have different ideas of how to progress in your own journeys, and there are different things that you're focused on right now. One of you is much more focused maybe on like physical comfort and stability, maybe focused on money, maybe focused on career, and the other one is much more focused on intellectual pursuits or, just really taking action and moving forward in some kind of way. But I feel like there's a disconnect here when it comes to the way you're communicating with each other, and that's a problem. So with the Ace of Swords being in reverse, especially since there's another page here with the Page of Rods being in reverse, there's definitely some sort of clarity that's available to you in this situation, in this relationship, but you're blocking it out. You're not seeing it, or you're not accepting some sort of truth that wants to be acknowledged here. And I feel like it's just that you two are on different paths. There's definitely love here. There's definitely, a deep, intense spiritual connection. But in order for you to follow what you're really, inspired by, what really ignites your fire, what really makes you feel alive, this relationship is holding you back from that. And that's the truth that you're struggling to acknowledge here. So with the Knight of Swords being in reverse, I feel like there's no rush in terms of like making a decision in this relationship. But you really do have to understand why you're here and what your real purpose is, and allow what's really truly meant for you to come into your life to help move you on that path. There's definitely some sort of blockage here, and this relationship feels like it's that blockage. It's blocking you from maybe fully expressing your creativity, or fully expressing what's on your heart, what's on your mind. And maybe this person doesn't acknowledge, what is going on in your mind, like what you're thinking about, what's really keeping you up at night. And I feel like it's something that you're meant to do, some sort of action that you're meant to take, that this relationship is blocking you from being able to take. So with the Two of Pentacles being in reverse, so we have so many twos in this reading. I do feel like there's a breaking apart of this relationship, of this union, because you have different priorities. And because if you just kept going down this road with this person, you would have to sort of hold back too much. You would have to make yourself, smaller. You would have to continue to be passive, when really you're more this Queen of Rods energy, and you really, really want to create something. You really want to put yourself out there in some way, or be acknowledged, be seen for what you have to offer. So I think that you just really want to be in service in some way, and you want to take those steps, towards that. So I do feel like with the Death card being reversed, again, this is not an easy decision to make. This is not something that either of you want to acknowledge, but it does feel like you're on different paths. Okay, so we have anguish, meander, underworld, and source. So this is, like I said, a very spiritual connection. It's extremely painful, though, this sort of inner conflict that you feel. Even though you love this person, even though they definitely bring a lot to your life, you have this inner struggle going on, and you feel like you're fighting with yourself. With the meander card, I feel like, yes, with this person, you might be able to find your way. You might be able to find workarounds, find compromises, and things like that. But it feels like you're much more willing to go deeper into your spiritual journey and into the underworld, into your subconscious, do the real healing that needs to be done. This other person may just want to stay surface level and may just want to, do the bare minimum, or just avoid this whole process of death, transformation, and being on your path. I feel like you're just really trying to take this more direct line, instead of wasting so much time, waiting around for somebody to kind of match your energy. It's almost like you're this straight line, and this other person would, your entire life together, would just kind of like take the long, slow road, to where you're trying to go. So from source, I feel like this is you really connecting to your higher self, really connecting to God, and really realizing that we all come, it all comes down to like our destiny, and God knows this destiny. God knows everything. God understands, your higher self understands your path that you're headed on, and what lessons you need to learn in order to get there. So I do feel like this relationship, this karmic situation, is really valuable for helping you understand your subconscious fears, your subconscious wounds, and the healing that's coming directly from source is really going to help you move forward after this relationship. I do feel like this is ending here. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not right away, because I don't feel like either of you is in any kind of rush to end this. Yeah, the denial card came out, and the moon card. So there's still a lot that is buried beneath the surface here. There's still a lot that's unsaid. And until you can really acknowledge, what has transpired between you, what difficulty there is, this inner anguish that's happening, you're not going to be able to actually get to where you want to go. I feel like you're sort of putting this other person's face on the energy of what it is you want to experience. So with the denial card, I do feel like both of you are in denial of what it is that you actually truly want, and you're trying to make each other fit that model of what it is that you want and where your heart is leading you. So with the strength card, I do feel like there's definitely going to continue to be a strong connection with this person. I don't think that this person is exiting your life totally. I don't feel like it's a severing of the connection. I actually feel like it's more like an evolution. You know, if you were in a romantic relationship before, maybe you're becoming friends. If you were like really, really close before, maybe, you know, you're just taking a step back from each other. But the strength of your bond and the way that you're able to actually understand each other, I think is like, I think you'll be able to understand each other better once you have space from each other. And like right now you're back to back, but it's almost like you have each other's back no matter what, even if you're not going forward in this relationship, you know, the way that you thought you would. This isn't something where you're headed, you know, towards the same point at the same time. But maybe you have something that you share. Maybe you share children, or maybe you share a business, or maybe you share, you know, something that you both really, really value. Maybe, you know, there's some sort of practice that you both share that you can't connect with other people on, or maybe you just need each other because you're each other's like spiritual guide. So that part of the connection is not ending. It's just that it's evolving into something else. So you have soulmate. This is definitely a soulmate, and soulmates come into your life to help you learn lessons. This is a karmic soulmate. So you had karma to clear with this person, and you had to sort of go through whatever the past phases of this relationship were. But this is evolving into something else. And it's almost like this guy here is like a ghost. It's almost like he's not real. So it's almost like, again, you were like projecting, you know, something real onto this person that they were never going to be able to live up to. And instead of you resenting each other for that and holding each other to those standards, you're letting each other go. You're letting each other be free because of the love that you have for each other. So that's really beautiful, honestly, and really important. And I feel like you're definitely both going to be okay. You're definitely both going to be there for each other in some way. It's just that your relationship is evolving from whatever it was before into something new and better, so that you're both free to achieve your destinies in whatever sort of order or whatever sort of pace is right for you both individually. I feel like you're just going to like skyrocket. You're like on a very, very fast paced, accelerated spiritual journey, and this other person may not be. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much. If this is the end of the video for you, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It'll really, really help me as I grow this new channel. And I love you. Bye. Hi, group 3. Let's look at the framing cards. Ooh, we got an extra card in here. It was 3 for the other ones. So, okay, we have the 8 of Wands, the 7 of Swords in reverse, the King of Swords, and the 9 of Wands. So I feel like this is a situation where there hasn't been like one of you hasn't been treating the other fairly. Like one of you has been sort of tempted to hide from the other, but it's almost like it's impossible in this connection to hide or to hold yourself back or to not be honest in some way, because whatever you put out into this relationship, whatever sort of actions you take come back. Like this is the kind of karmic relationship where it's like the lessons are so crystal clear, like they're right there in your face, and things shift and change very rapidly, very quickly. And the insights and the messages that you get from whatever lessons you're learning through this relationship come almost immediately. So it's like there's full transparency, whether you like it or not, in this relationship. And I feel like with this 9 of Wands following this 8 of Wands, it's almost like you're just really exhausted from how many lessons you've had to learn in this relationship and how rapidly they've come through the lessons. You know, it's been very, very intense for you, and I feel like you're really tired. But what's great also is that like this has actually really helped you when it comes to communication, and I feel like it's helped you really activate your inner truth and speak that, you know, without any sort of fear of repercussions or consequences to speaking your truth. You're just very blunt and honest and transparent. So I'm going to set the oracle cards aside for a second while I dig deeper into this energy with the tarot cards. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the Hermit. So I feel like this is actually a very mature connection, or you're at a very mature part of your spiritual journey. You're getting close to wrapping up a major karmic cycle, or wrap up this karmic situation so that you can be free to learn new things. I feel like whatever the lessons coming through here, through this relationship, like you've been through them before, and you're starting to see, or you're able to see very, very clearly now, the patterns. And once you're able to see those patterns, you're able to break free of the cycle. The world is in reverse, I feel like, because you're just so very close, and you just need, you know, a little bit more awareness to really reach that higher level of consciousness. But you have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords coming out here together in the upright, which means that whatever's going on in this relationship, at least you're able to communicate with each other. I do feel like you're on guard. You definitely have your walls up, and you have this ability to really cut through the other's mask, the other's veil, the other's ego, and get to the truth. So I think the hardest lesson that you're going to have to learn moving forward in this karmic situation is that some people you're just not meant to build with. And with the Three of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles being in reverse here, I think the hardest part is going to be letting go of any sort of stability or some sort of comfort, you know, that comes from just knowing that there's this safety net here with this person. Maybe this relationship was just like too safe, and it was holding you back from being able to build something lasting. Just know that you're going to be taken care of, because the Five of Pentacles is in reverse, which is a good thing, because the Five of Pentacles in the upright would mean that you're sort of both coming out of this situation worse off than you came into it, especially like financially. So that's not the case. You're both going to be taken care of in that sense. But with the Ten of Wands in reverse, you're really dumping a lot of the baggage, the emotional baggage, you know, the spiritual stuff. You may have had a past life connection with this person, and this is really wrapping things up nicely for you so that you can kind of get off of that wheel. But the key way to get off of it is to really recognize, you know, the patterns, like I was saying. And that's what the Hermit is so important. You have to really go within. You have to really connect to your own energy. You need some space. And that's actually been a thread that's gone through all three readings. I did them in order. So there has needed to be this space, you know, alone, in order to really reflect on the lessons of the connection and to break free. So with the Moon card being in reverse, whatever sort of illusions you were under that sort of kept you holding on, or kept you sort of thinking that maybe, you know, this person will be different than what you've encountered in the past, those illusions have been shattered. So I feel like this is a real freedom that you're gaining from this. You are going to need some time alone to process this, and I don't think that's necessarily something that makes you sad or angry. I think it's actually something that you're looking forward to, that you're celebrating, because your perspective is just like so different now. So you have Phenomenon, Tempest, Memory, and Retreat. So I feel like with the Phenomenon card, this could be really recognizing the connection between your circumstances and the higher wisdom. You know, like you're able to really see everything from a bird's eye view is really what this feels like. And this Tempest card, I feel like, is this like conflicting energy that you felt because you're just so different. Like you have this circle and this triangle here, and I'm feeling like there's this distance, you know, between what you thought this was on the ground and what it looks like when you zoom out and see it from a higher perspective, when you're able to really see the lesson. So I feel like this is really, you know, the conflict that you've experienced, the way that you've been able to go at it, the way you've been able to really tell each other the truth about each other. You've been able to reflect something very important, that you're not really that different. So I think looking back on it and being able to reflect on it, you're able to see how similar you actually are, that there hasn't really been that much separation, that difference between you. And with the memory card, I feel like this is activating, you know, past life memories. I do feel like this is a karmic situation that has been a repeated cycle. You've gone through things with this person. And with the retreat card, I feel like you're finally ready to let go. And yes, the memories are strong and they're going to continue to be, but you're going to get more and more of a distance from it the more that you connect to yourself and to your inner truth. That's going to be the most important part of letting go of this relationship is, you know, again, zooming out and seeing the bigger picture, seeing the higher perspective of it, but also seeing how the separation kind of dissolves the more distance you get from this. So we have oath, confidence, and complicated. So I feel like this is going to require you're going to need to do a little bit of research if you're not aware of like denouncing past life oaths or promises or vows that you've made. I feel like the loyalty that you feel towards this person and the affinity and the sameness that you feel with this person is the strength of the contract that you have, the karmic contract that you signed. But I do feel like you're ready to actually acknowledge that the contract has been fulfilled. You've played the role that you needed to play in each other's life, and now you're ready to move on. So with the confidence card, this could have been, you know, the major thing that you needed to remember. You needed to remember, you know, your power, your strength, and this relationship, because you're able to hang in there when it came to the arguments or when it came to communication. I think it gave you a lot of confidence to be honest and forthright and really, you know, connected to your discernment and your inner truth moving forward. So the complicated card, I feel like, is about the complexity of maybe detaching from this person in the physical realm. I think that detaching, you know, mentally and spiritually is actually going to be the easiest part, and that it's going to be a little bit complicated, kind of figuring out the logistics. But don't let that hold you back, because I think it's actually something that both of you want, but you just feel maybe this loyalty, you know, you feel this loyalty to each other. So we have faith. This is really about trusting that, you know, your inner guidance system, your discernment has not led you wrong. You were meant to be in this relationship for the amount of time that you were in it. But moving forward, this, you know, would just, I think that you've already woken up so much out of the illusion. You don't have anything but faith that everything is working out for the highest good for all, and that's really important. This relationship has not robbed you of anything. It has not taken anything away from you. This other person, I don't think, has even really truly done you wrong. I think that it was impossible for that to even happen in this relationship. I think more what happened here is just a recognition that there's more for you, that there is something beyond this. This is what you've known, maybe for many, many lifetimes. Maybe it's what you've known your entire life, but you're both willing to move on and have faith that something is better, that you don't have to settle for this. And if that's what this feels like, if this relationship feels like settling, then it's done. It's over. There's no need to settle anymore. Have faith that what's meant for you is coming. And it's a 22 here for, you know, a stable, you know, union, a new relationship that's really connected in a way that you haven't been able to connect to this other person. You've had your guard up. You've had to protect yourself energetically from this person, you know, for fear of getting hurt. So something good is coming for sure. You just have to have faith. And I feel like, you know, with the confidence card coming out and the have faith card coming out, this relationship has not made you bitter or anything like that. You're coming out of this in a very optimistic energy, which is beautiful. So I hope this helped. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, or check out the other readings in this video or on my channel. I'd really, really appreciate it if you could stick around and subscribe. So yeah, hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.